Okay, at this time, we'll call this meeting to order. Roll call, everyone is present. Next, we'll do the approval of the April minutes. Do I have a motion? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I skipped. Yes, approval of the current agenda. Linda, a first. Do I have a second? Virginia, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Then do I have approval of the April minutes? Jeff, a first. Milty, a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any questions? Then I will let you take it away with the monthly report. We'll start out with Ross.
Okay, so there we go. All right, for the monthly report, we'll start with the awards received, which is the page that shows breakdown. Okay, on there you can see that we have been filing our pensions and our pension, our 2021 expenses for 2020. So most of these that you'll see right now are those coming back as being adjudicated and paid out to our veterans. We do have some burial and plot allowances in there and some increases based on our new medical information. This month seems to be a very big month as far as working with our new veterans have been diagnosed with bladder cancer since it was added, and Parkinson's or Parkinsonism. So that would be that sheet itself. Are there questions on that sheet? All right, I'll continue. So next you'll see the one that has the one-time totals of projected increases and the monthly increases. So you'll see that the one-time totals, which I had talked about before, the one-time totals are going, the amount is going down, but the increase in benefit is going up, which tells us that we're doing a good job in keeping up with the claims. And then we're going through and looking at the claims that need to be increased based on new medical information. The total increase in benefits was $48,000, whereas the one-time payments were only $5,000 because we're catching them before they have to be backdated. And VA is doing a wonderful job recently on adjudicating claims very quickly. For most of our claims, we're down to less than 90 days. And less, the only ones that we're on a standstill for right now is the new ones that were just added this year in January. Although they were added, VA is still going through the documentation on how to actually rate them in the new 38 CFR. So right now I have 5 claims that are currently out there for bladder cancer or Parkinsonism that are already been adjudicated. They said, yes, they have it, but they're waiting for guidance from VA to actually say how they rate those. So those are still pending. I do have one case that we are just working on recently that just came in the door. He had bladder cancer. It actually came back. It was in remission. Upon review of his records, we actually found that there was a duty to assist that I'm fighting right now because he was actually diagnosed with CAD, which is coronary artery disease, back in 2019, and VA just failed. It was on his comp and pen, but VA failed to do their duty to assist to actually find it. So I'm fighting that one right now.
What is that? If I can interrupt for a second, what does that actually mean then? So they identified it, but they failed to treat it?
They identified it, but failed to request a medical. So he went through a DBQ for a comp and pen exam. On the DBQ, which is the disability questionnaire, it specifically said that the thing that he was claiming before was not due to his service-connected diabetes. At the bottom of that, it says the veteran was diagnosed with coronary artery disease, which is a presumptive under Agent Orange. At that point, I feel that VA should have then taken that piece and then developed that part of it, which is the duty to assist, because they identified a illness that was service connected to Agent Orange. They didn't do that. Well, then to make the case a little more complicated is the PVC he was claiming, which is the premature vascular contractions. Sorry, a lot of acronyms. That was actually in research that is actually contributed to CADs. So the coronary artery disease actually is what's causing the PVCs.
One thing leads to another to another.
So instead of it being diabetes, it was actually leading to the CAD, but they had documentation that he already had CAD and was diagnosed with it. They should have done the medical opinions in sequence. They failed to do that. So that's the one I'm fighting right now, which is a great discovery for me. Going through the medical records is kind of exciting for me.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
You talked about the bladder cancer. Is that Agent Orange? related or with the Blue Water or what?
That's Agent Orange related. That was added this year. We had 3 new ones that were added this year. I think I covered it last time. I know we added bladder cancer. We added Parkinsonism. Before, Parkinson's itself was on there, but Parkinsonism is not. Now, what Parkinsonism is the symptoms of Parkinson's. So if you're not fully into Parkinson's, which is the absence of a diagnosis, okay, they do a test and they say, okay, you have Parkinson's. If you have tremors and other stuff that is leading to the Parkinsonism, but you haven't actually gone into Parkinson itself, then that wasn't claimed before. You couldn't claim it until you actually were diagnosed with the actual full-blown disease. They reversed that and said now those additional things leading up to Parkinson's before you have the full-blown is still disabling. So therefore, they're going to cover that based on different ratings.
How do they tell that it's Agent Orange possibly caused or just caused because they're old?
So if you go back and look at case study, let me pull this closer. Okay, so if you go back and look at case studies, what VA was required to do is work with the medical fields and say, I need a study over the course of these last 10 years that says, is it more likely that our veterans that were exposed to Agent Orange were contracting that disease versus the normal population based on age and stuff like that? And the answer to that question was yes, we are. Veterans who were exposed to Agent Orange have a higher risk of being, when they were exposed to that chemical, the dioxin, I can't remember how to pronounce that, the Agent Orange itself.
2,4,5-T.
That made them more susceptible to having those different ailments. And that has been, those are medical studies that are done through multiple years until they finally adjudicate it.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, I'll continue. So as you can see, that the month of April, the one-time payouts were just normally, that's our pension expenses that we filed. The projected increases are those that we've filed, and their benefits have gone up. So they went from a 60 to 80% or higher. Our total monthly benefits for the county would increase by $53,000 currently. So that's a total for this year of $369,000 increased in benefits. Any questions?
How many people might that be?
Total for who all gets all that money?
Yes, sir.
I don't have a breakdown for that. I mean, I could go back through and look at it because that all is based on our veteran populations. We have 1,202 veterans in our county now. That's not including widows that are on pension also. So I can't give you a hard figure on who all that goes to. I know that in the county itself, the county pulls in over $1 million in benefits. The veterans in our community do, which is money into the county's pocket if they spend it here.
Of course.
Any more questions? Good. All right. So now if you go into April's appointment schedule, as you can see, we have a lot of activity. Obviously compared to last year because it was COVID. We are definitely up in numbers, a lot more walk-ins this month. We're seeing people are calling back into the office, still doing a lot by phone and still doing a lot by email. As you can see that our email and our outgoing phone call traffic is pretty high. I've found that most of the time instead of the veterans coming in, I can actually do most of the stuff over the phone with them. That is cases that are currently going. So if I have to file a statement on their behalf or a new form or a response to a letter, we're doing that all via phone. I will type it up. I call them, say, hey, this is what I want to file. If you have any questions, we go over it, then I file for them. The ones that are normally our walk-ins and our new appointments are normally those that are, one, it's a complicated case. They come in so we can adjudicate it correctly. And I can have that face-to-face or new members to the county. So I can do a face-to-face and actually walk them through all the benefits that are out there. Or those that are new to the county just don't know what the office is about. So that's mostly what the appointments and the walk-ins are. Or if something has gone wrong, i.e. VA didn't pay. There's a lack of payment. The money doesn't match up to what it should have been. Those are normally the walk-ins that come in the office. Some that have questions that need to be answered right away. Any other questions? No? Okay. And that concludes my report for the activity of the office.
All right. Does anybody have any other questions on any of them? Otherwise, we will move to travel notifications.
So we did get our confirmation that the National Association for County Veteran Service Officers is going to be doing the digital online training. Me and Tara both have registered for that. That'll be in July. We will be, per se, out of the net. We will be taking the classes online. My door will be locked. I will still have the phone on to take calls and emergent calls, but that way I can focus on what I need to do for our continuing education that we're required to have this year. So we have already registered. Cost the county $700, which is a lot less than going to a national conference, which would cost us almost over $2,000. So that is done. So no travel requests for the time.
Now, I have a question. You normally have 2 trainings. So this is the training that's for spring that you're doing online in July. And then is there the one that's always in fall that's still pending or, okay. But right, there's 2 a year, correct?
Correct. There's a spring conference, which is held by the Wisconsin Association. I am not attending that one. That's down in the Dells. That one is not required because we have the continuing education being done through nationals.
Okay.
The one in fall, I have to attend. That's when we do all of the elections and everything for the voting. So I will have to attend that one unless they're going to offer it virtually, which we're still waiting to see.
Okay. And that's the one Tara does not need to go to, right? Is this the important one? There, I remember you talking one that's important. Is this the one for Tara?
So
Okay.
this one is the one that
Because this
gets
is
us,
about all this claims. Okay.
yeah. So this one gets us all up to date on our current education to include with Tara. The one in the fall is, and we're waiting to see what happens with the fall. If they offer it virtual, I am more apt to taking it virtually and just doing my voting that way instead of traveling somewhere.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Any questions that anyone has on this? Then we'll move to overtime report
None?
and then any other matters.
I am coordinating currently with the Marine manager to be doing a veterans fishing thing on the 12th or 19th of June. We haven't nailed down the exact date. I have reached out to the Post, to the VFW, and to the Legion Post commanders so that I could get names and numbers on projected. And right now, Augie is working on getting the boaters in line for it. So I'll probably have Jennifer be doing a media release on it so we can get more veterans interested in it so they can bring their spouses. If the spouses want to come by themselves, they're more than welcome to do that. It's just kind of getting something we want to do for the veterans this year.
Can I ask a question quick? So when I was here 2 months ago, you were talking about Memorial Day, and then I think you were discussing meeting with the Kewaunee County group. What did you come up with on the Memorial Day thing?
So we actually nailed that down after talking with Jeff in detail and then coordinating with Bernie. We sent them the Legion here in Kewaunee, the entire coordination piece.
Yep.
Our checklist, who we normally contact to do everything else, and the template for the actual memorial readings. Our office will still maintain and send out to the commanders the list of veterans who have passed this year because we have access to that information more readily than they do. So we will still send that out to the commanders this year for the different counties or for the different cities and townships that have veterans who have passed. But right now, the Legion will take over as doing the coordination for everything for Kewaunee City itself.
Just like Carlton does in Luxembourg. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So what that's going to look like is we're going to go to Riverview Cemetery, I believe, at 10 o'clock. And we'll do the taps, the firing squad, prayer, and honor roll. And then we'll regroup at Holy Rosary Cemetery after that and do the same function there.
Okay.
It's my hope that we can do something back at the county memorial as a county where you would have, I think just historically it's been post 29 Kewaunee because it's in our city. But it really, I think, should be, all of the posts combined
just-
at the
okay.
memorial. I mean, that's why we have it, right?
So you're talking then Luxembourg, Carlton, all
Everyone-
of those would
everyone's
come
invited.
together. So
anyone wants to
Carlton can
send
do their
someone-
thing, Kewaunee can do their thing, Luxembourg,
Sure.
but then in the end, they all come together for the county.
Something
Yes.
that would look like that.
I like that
we would
idea.
have Memorial Day at the county
Yep.
memorial.
Because it is the county.
It
That
is the
county
county.
memorial. It's
That's
not,
right.
yeah, it's in the city, but I get it
Exactly.
that each post wants to do their thing.
Sure.
But then to come together, yes.
And there hasn't been any coordination for a parade or anything like that. I think everyone's still kind of just, we want to do what needs to be done in regards to the memorial services and such. But when you get into the bigger picture of the parade and that, I don't think our guys are quite ready for that. So,
Okay.
But yeah, hopefully we can work towards getting a bigger event at the county memorial. So,
Thank you. All right, thank you. Any other questions? And anything on the other matters? You got it all? Okay. Then it's the next meeting. And I had down the 14th, we put down from health. Is that okay? Excuse me. Excuse me.
That should be okay.
Is that okay?
Mhm,
We'll
that's
do
flagged in.
health and then health will contact you. Yep. Otherwise I can move it. I can let health know. We put it down and
Can we make it so that I can go first that day? Because there is an event that I would like to attend to down in Brown County.
I think that would be fine. What I'll do is when I leave here, I'll go talk to health quick, make sure. And then if I don't come back and report to you, we're going to start you at 8:30.
Okay, thank you.
And we started, I think it was 10 after 9 and we're done. So if it's pretty simple, we'll have you out of here before 9. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody, anything? And that's okay with the meeting. If we switch it, we're going to do vets first at 8:30 and then we'll roll to health and I'll check with Deanne. Otherwise you just mark it on your calendar in here, vets first. If you hear different from me, I'll let you know. Okay. No matter what. So park yourself and someone will be here. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. At this point then, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
Miltia first. Anyone a second? Jeff a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.